collect things of a metallic nature, most commonly coins. I'll get into some of the other stuff in a little bit. A lot of people think that the collection of metallic things deals with the collection of gold and silver, and it can. Here's an example of some silver bullion, a type of silver bullion, and then next is some common silver coin. If you're going to try to collect silver coin, you need to be sure that the coins that you're collecting are pre-1964 from the US. When it gets to the collection of gold, quite often people will purchase gold type stocks or what have you, but they don't actually hold the tangible gold itself. I like to have the actual tangible. Here's a couple examples of gold. These are British, where one of them is British and one of them is French. Check with your local dealers and you'll find out where you're going to get the best price per ounce for which denomination. US gold is in the older US $10 gold pieces and $20 gold pieces. You're certainly not going to get the best price for gold out of those. They'll have more of a collector's value than the actual worth of them is in gold itself. Other ways people can collect gold and silver is with jewelry. Here's a couple of pieces I found with a metal detector. When you start into collecting US coins, you can put together many different types of collections. I, for one, am trying to put together a typeset, meaning I want one example of every type of coin. Not necessarily looking for the highest grade, just a clear example. We'll start out with some of the denominations that were found in the US, starting with a ½ cent, and then they moved up to a 1 cent piece, followed by a 2 cent piece. For a brief time they also had a 3 cent piece. Then they had half dimes, which were 5 cents, and this was before they were actually called a nickel, like you see here. Then they went up to dimes. And for a very brief period they had something called a 20 cent piece, but a lot of people complained that it looked a lot like a quarter, so they got rid of that. But then they went to a 25 cent piece, it's what we call a quarter, up to a half dollar. Dollar coins, they had $5 coins, $10 coins, and $20 coins. That was US coinage. If you're putting together a typeset of any sort and you have actually two types of coins that are fairly close in appearance, sometimes you might want to display them side by side like this so somebody can easily see the difference between the two. I know it's hard to see it in this pic, but there is a difference. You can also get into the collection of errored coins, such as coins that are off-center or double stamped, coins that are clipped. You can see this one got a clip in the upper right hand corner, this nickel. A lamination, which is where part of the face actually peeled off. There's even things called blank planchets. I didn't get all the photos uploaded, so a lot of these are missing. But you've also got things like double dies, and there's multiple different types of errors that you can get into. What you really want to be aware of are the fakes that are out there, where people will definitely try to rip you off. I took a pretty big jump when I started my collection here I started my collection several years ago, but I'm trying to put together a world typeset from the 17th century to the 21st century, meaning I want one of every coin that was minted, every type of coin, from every country in the world. That's a lifelong endeavor if you're ever able to actually complete that task. So I'll go through some of them. There's something from the Empire of Germany. That was a 1 mark. Here's from one of the German states. Getting all the different German states is going to be rather difficult as well. Holland, New Zealand, Great Britain, Norway. Here's an 8 reals, and you got to look for the mint mark and you'll know where they're minted. This one was minted in Lima, Peru. Some Japanese coins. Some of my coins that I collect that are they're really fascinating to me are the Roman coins. There's Licinius, Antonius Pius, on down the line more Galenius, and several other Roman coins. This one is one of the oldest forms of money known to mankind. It's Greek. They called it dolphin money. It's very, very difficult to find one that's in pristine condition. They're all corroded. Look for the patina. And if you don't know what patina is, look it up. If the patina is missing, I wouldn't get into it. It's very easy to get into the replicas where people have tried to rip you off. Be careful, know what you're looking at. There's a Euboea out of Greece and some more Greek coins. Like I said, I really like the ancients. Here's a Peter the Great. These are some of the ancient monies from the northern European countries, where we've got Celtic ring money, Celtic boat money, arrowhead money. I've got examples of what they called bell money, but it's pretty hard to put that on a scanner and get a good picture of it. What the Celts would do was to take metal and actually melt it and shape it into different trinkets, and then they would spend it according to the weight, according to how good it looked. Their artistic ability was in it, so a lot of it really depended upon what the money item actually looked like, whether it was Celtic ring money or what have you. And here's some more examples of sheets of Celtic ring money. And we get into some of the artifacts. Now this cross is not that old, but it was found in the UK with a metal detector. The next spear point is from Luristan, and it's actually not a spear point. I was sold something that they called a spear point when I didn't know any better, but if you notice the rivet holes, it was a dagger end. A dagger point, I mean. Here's some iron artifacts. They're Roman, they're spear points and arrowhead points. I've got some other, what they call a trilobe. Again, they're hard to put on a scanner and actually get pictures of them. They're not flat. Here with the pink background, we see some ancient Roman artifacts. And there's also some Celtic artifacts that are mixed in with them. Just have a look. Some of it's Byzantine. Some of them are Anglo. Some of them are Greek. These are some transportation tokens. And then some tax tokens. The ones after this are brothels tokens, but these are fakes. And when I bought them, I knew they were fakes. They were replicas. These are some foreign tokens, just a mixed lot. And I've got quite a few casino tokens, or casino chips, if you will. And then some older poker chips. And you'll notice the row of 4 at the top on the poker chips, and the 2 on the lower left are all what they call Bakelite. The 3 in a row on the 3rd row down are silver. They're commemoratives, if you will, from different casinos. Followed by some actual table chips from different casinos in Vegas and what have you that I've been to. They're just kept as a memento. They're nice to have. And the next page are some different casino chips from casinos that are, whoops, those aren't casinos. Those are some German coins in there. Notice the Swazi in the lower right. I don't know if you'll be able to see that up close enough, but those are German Third Reich coins. Now, I also mentioned I like collecting metal whatnots. There's some, you see some keys in there. I have a fascination with keys for some reason. I don't know why, but I just like them. The next one are some different metallic tin medicine containers, if you will. These are some coins that were found after a house fire. They're actually fused together. They melted together in the house fire. These are 2 hood ornaments that I saved after I had a wreck with a Mazda with my F-150. I won. This is a very individualized piece for me. It's what's called a banner of tails. Some of you know what that is. Sandbog. And then some more trophies that wouldn't necessarily fit on the actual banner. Some of them will, but I just haven't put them on there yet. Those are slated to be part of the banner of tails. Here's a pic of a Confederate NCO sword that was found with a metal detector. And I said everything that I had was metallic. I lied. This is a stick from a tree somewhere in Missouri, we'll say. It's very affectionately referred to as the hanging tree. It's obviously not used anymore, but this is a branch out of that tree that I made a walking stick out of. Here's a, I guess everybody knows what this is. Don't even have to explain this one. The last pick is what they call a slave bracelet. It's the real deal. It's actually a piece of money that was made in Great Britain, and they used it to purchase slaves in Africa.